This is a Pawfly aquarium heater. I was provided this heater for free to review. If you wanted to buy one, it would cost you $15. They have not paid me for my review, and my opinions are my own. So in the box we have a user's manual. This is the LH series by Pawfly, electrically adjustable heater. It is a 50-watt aquarium heater, and we basically stick this to the inside of the aquarium. You have this guy that comes out. There's plus minus controls here to set the temperature, and it heats up your aquarium. So let's get an aquarium and set this guy up. Alright, this heater has a plastic enclosure around what looks like a glass tube with maybe some type of sand inside of it, and suction cups. So we have to immerse this guy minimum to above that. If you go a little deeper, that's good too, in case your water level gets down low. We're putting it there. So mounting the heating element in the fish tank's the easiest part here. You just suction cup it on. Then you have to have a cord coming out with a drip loop so that if any water starts siphoning up that cord or running down the cord for any reason, it will go down here and drip off instead of going into your control unit. If the control unit is above the water level, that's even better. And I have used copious amounts of tape here to also put in my power meter, the kilowatt power meter, read how much power is going into this thing. So with this set up, I can plug the other end of that extension cord in, standing behind a wall, and turn this guy on. The red light turned on, which means it is heating the water. The set point currently, it looks to be 79, and the current temperature of the water is 75 because I'm in Florida. And so it's already set to Fahrenheit because I know that if that was Celsius it'd be really hot. So if you hold both the plus and the minus at the same time, it will convert to centigrade, and now the water is 25 and the set point is 26. I'm going to go back to Fahrenheit because that's what I'm used to. You just press and hold these two guys. We're in Fahrenheit now. And now it says 79. Now the whole water there didn't immediately heat up. The temperature sensor is within the thermostat body. And so it's turned green here because it's not heating anymore, because the water immediately around the thermostat is hot, but the rest of the water didn't heat up that fast. So we need a aquarium pump to be moving water around in the aquarium to circulate that heat. It will eventually move due to convection currents, but I think you're supposed to have an aeration pump anyways, so we're going to put a pump in next. So while this light's green and is not actively heating, my watt meter here says it's 0 watts, which basically means it's less than a watt draw, so a very minimal draw when it's not actually heating. Now if I turn the temperature up and it starts heating, the draw goes up here. It's to 51.2 watts. So it says it's a 50-watt heater. It's drawing just a little bit more than that. Now in Fahrenheit, the maximum temperature set point is 95 Fahrenheit. If you go past that, it jumps back down to 59, and then you have to go all the way up. Or if you go down past 59, you jump up to 95. So it goes in a range between basically 60 and 95. And right now it says it's 82. My set point is 95. So the red light's turning on and it's heating. Now the temperature of the water in this aquarium over there is 73. Over here is 73.2. If I touch this inside the heater, you can see it's jumped up there a lot. It's 78 now, 77. So the closer I get to that glass tube in there, I'm getting up to 79, 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this thing here says it's 82, but that's just because the temperature sensor is inside the heater. Okay, I've installed and turned on this aquarium pump, which is pulling water out and then dropping it out here, and it's essentially pushing a flow of water past this aquarium heater. Okay, set point is set to 95 degrees. thermometer thinks it's 80 degrees in there because it's measuring very close to the thermometer down here. So you know its temperature sensing is right there, which is about 80. The actual water right now is 73.6 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to leave this overnight. I'm not really expecting it to get all the way up to 95 degrees because there's a lot of surface area here for heat to escape. But let's see what it gets up to. All right. Overnight, it's been 12.5 hours, and the water in the fish tank is about 83 Fahrenheit, 82.9. The pump is keeping that heat distributed evenly throughout the fish tank. Now, this guy says it's 87. The set point's set to 95. So there's obviously a discrepancy between the digital display here and my super scientifically accurate kitchen thermometer. So I would not use this device without a separate thermometer that you trust. But I expect that once we find a number here that matches, it'll probably maintain that temperature correctly. Now, it's used 650 watt hours overnight, and that's basically 50 watt hours every 50 watts continuously for that time. So it's basically been turned on the whole time. Now, there is a bucket of water in this room, which is at ambient of 68 Fahrenheit. It's actually slightly higher than ambient. Ambient air temperature, you know, 60 something or 65 or so. So this is definitely keeping these 10 gallons of water much warmer than ambient. I'm going to turn the set point down now, and we will set the set point to 86. And now I'm going to be checking, you know, how close to the set point does it keep it. Now, we'll wait for this thing to hit 86, and at that point I will check the water temperature and see what it actually is, and then we'll see what the actual water temperature does to deviate away from that set point. Alright, this guy's been running for about 4 hours since I turned the set point down, and it's used about 150 watt hours, so that means it's been turned on about 3/4 of the time and turned off about 1/4 of the time. So right now it's off, the light's green. The temperature in the tank here, about 82, 82.2. Over here it's 82.2. So the pump is distributing the water evenly, keeping the temperature even throughout the tank. You know, this guy says it's 85. The tank is staying at a consistent 82. So it's keeping it at a consistent temperature. There's a couple degrees differential between this thermometer and what that guy says. I don't know which one to trust more, but it is keeping it at a consistent temperature. Alright, this guy has been maintaining its temperature for about 7 hours. It's been turned on and powered for about 5 of those 7 hours, so it's having to stay on about 75% of the time. Ambient temperature here is 68, 69 outside. The water in the tank is up at 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have the pump running, it's 82.2 over there. Move it over here, it's 82.4, so there's a very small temperature difference between one side of the tank to the other because the pump is rotating the water through. You can see here it turned green, so it just turned off right there. Now this guy says 86, but at that set point it's been maintaining 82 very consistently. So it's possible this thermometer is off, or it's possible that thermometer is off. I kind of suspect because of the temperature sensing elements are inside the heated body down there, I suspect this guy just reads a couple of degrees hotter than the actual water temperature. But it is maintaining the same temperature for a long period of time. I am going to turn this down now. We're going to turn it down just to 80 even, and we'll come back and see how that handles overnight. Okay, ambient temperature is about 65, it's early in the morning. A bucket of water is about 69, so if you just had a bucket of water sitting around, it would be at 69 just because it has some thermal mass. Now this fish tank, which has the heater in it, is 77.2. So it's 77.2. The thermometer is at 80, so you know it's within about 3 degrees there. Power-wise, this guy has been running about 30% of the time, so it has extra capacity. It could keep this water hotter, but it is keeping it consistently at this set point. So essentially, this aquarium heater will heat a 10-gallon aquarium up pretty hot. It does maintain a reasonably good set point. The set point of the water might vary by a couple of degrees from the actual display on the display unit, so you probably want a separate thermometer if you're trying to get the exact temperature. But once you get the right number here for the temperature you want in your water, it does maintain that water temperature pretty evenly. So at this price point, that's a pretty good deal if you just need an aquarium heater.